I've been to some of the town hall meetings where representatives have been brought forth to address community concerns about NBAF and about a potential location close to on the Durham-Granville County line. When you ask these folks about, when you look at who's coming to show up to attend these meetings, often many of these folks aren't even employees of Homeland Security. They don't even work for the federal government, but instead they're in business development for SAIC and for the other government contractors for whom this is going Christmas shopping. And they've got a Christmas list and they want to talk to Santa and get this thing funded because it's big dollars. And I think the same can be said for well-meaning people that are interested in economic development. They look at bringing federal dollars to the state as a good thing. But we've got to count the cost of that money, and we've got to look at the relative risks, which are really, in my mind, the relative risks far outweigh the benefits.
We're still trying to figure out whether or not we can believe Homeland Security when they tell us that there's not going to be any biological warfare research going on there. I mean, sure, the U.S. has signed the treaties that ban that, but the U.S. has also opposed any meaningful international oversight there. So, you know, who's going to benefit from that? I'm not sure, but I don't think it's going to be the folks next door.
I know a lot about the Department of Homeland Security, and I've criticized them in this bill we're going to report on Wednesday. There are many ways in which we are criticizing them, holding them to account. We've had, talk about congressional oversight, we've had days and days of hearings.
I called a number of our congressmen's offices, and in the Farm Bill, buried in the Farm Bill was a provision to allow them to bring foot and mouth disease to the continental United States. Up until when the bill was passed about a month ago or 2 months ago, you know, foot and mouth disease was not allowed on the continental United States. The staffers I spoke to, and these were their ag people, you know, people in charge of agricultural research. They were not aware that they had, signed a bill, allowing foot and mouth disease on the continental United States. They were shocked when I told them that.
I don't really think that we have the water supply to handle this. We're already strained in Granville County. Seguasa is having trouble with keeping water quality standards as is, and they will be in charge of treating what comes out of this facility. It's going to be, well, they keep changing the number. I'm not sure.
My name is Jim Center. I live in Richmond, and I, for one, am a small livestock farmer who does not support the NBAF. While I understand the need for research into hoof and mouth disease, putting it within a mile of two cities' water supplies is just insanity to me.
Unfortunately, one of the places they're considering is smack dab in the midst of 5 different reservoirs for the area. So the potential for an adverse impact on our water supply is pretty high. There's going to be a large volume of waste from the animals that are the research subjects there, and that waste is supposed to be discharged ultimately into Falls Lake. So if there's any gaps in the pre-treatment of the waste, we're likely to see some of those diseases flowing right into Raleigh's water supply.
5 reservoirs in the area, plus Napa the Reeds Creek that flows directly into Falls Lake, the source of Raleigh's drinking water, just right there. And the draft environmental impact statement says that surface and groundwater is an issue with this site.
I'm going to ask very tough questions about environmental impacts. As I told you earlier, we are requiring that the GAO findings about hoof and mouth be fully explored, responded to, and then a chance for GAO to certify that they've been responded to. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure this is done right.
Yeah, you were at the town hall with Price. What do you think Price's reaction was? What do you think of that?
It was really disappointing to go there and just have him spew the same old stuff again and again. And we had met with him and given him the facts. And But he will not listen. He's still out there saying this is a good deal for North Carolina. I mean, he apparently is lacking in critical thinking skills because, I mean, it's in black and white. I mean, the GAO, has clearly pointed out, issues with these facilities, and he refuses to listen.
I think that our politicians were sold a bill of goods with this NBAF. They came on board early in the process. A lot of information has come forth since that time. And if it were to be presented now, it might be different. But they made a decision based on no information. And our politicians need to know they made the wrong decision, and they need to reverse their decisions.
NAT actually started back when I was pretty young. That was before my time. I'm a baby NAT.
We just spend an enormous time trying to get the word out to people. We'll go stand outside of a grocery store on this all-day Saturday. Here we are at the Eno Festival. We're at the Earth Day Festival.
I'd say the first thing is to go to the website, NOBIO.org, learn about it, and then contact our legislators. We really need our legislators to know that folks who don't want this, who they are. There aren't folks that are contacting our legislators at this point.